How's it going, guys? I'm Theo Dude, and recently, if you have not been living under a rock, you might know that the PS5 was finally revealed. Sony did a basically hour and a half long presentation where they pretty much just showed back-to-back game reveals, which was pretty awesome. You know, not a lot of fluff in there at all. And then at the very end, they revealed what the actual design looks like, which we had no idea what it was up until now. And they also showed that there's actually going to be two different versions. There's going to be a regular version with the disc, and there's also going to be a digital version which will not have a disc tray and is just going to be downloading only. So this is pretty common these days, where I don't even personally go out and buy a disc anymore. I just kind of download the game off of PSN, although I probably still will just buy the one with the disc in there just so I have the option if I want to watch a UHD Blu-ray or something like that. It may as well. Now, as for my personal thoughts on the design, I kind of think it looks goofy as hell. It's kind of weird looking. I don't really care. I'm still gonna buy it, but I do think it looks a bit weird, almost like one of those old concept renderings that amateurs would come up with back in like 2004 for like the original PS3 or something like that. It just kind of looks weird. It's almost the exact opposite design philosophy as with the Xbox, where it's all boxy, whatever. The PS5, it's like a wavy design. I mean, you can see what it looks like. I'm not exactly a fan of this style. I am more attuned to the PS4 design, where it's like lots of sharp angles, very modern. I kind of like the Xbox, but obviously the design of the console is not the reason you buy it, and it's not like I hate the design or anything. You know, I'll probably get used to it. It's whatever. I will say though, I do think I like the controller designs. People say they don't like that. I actually like that. It looks pretty ergonomic, looks pretty comfortable, so I think that's fine. Also, I should point out, yes, you will be able to put it sideways, of course, horizontally. For some reason, I don't know what it is, every single console that's released, they always show it in the vertical position. I have never known anyone that puts their console in the vertical position. I'm sure there's plenty of you out there, but I always think that people have like an entertainment console or table or whatever, and they just put it in there horizontally. But that's besides the point. Now, as for the size of the console, someone on Reddit actually created a graphic where they used the size of the CD trays of all past consoles, including the PS5 now, to show possibly the size comparison between all these. And if this is correct, it shows that the PS5 is significantly larger than basically any other console. So this could be a big giant console. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It could mean that it's better optimized for cooling. You know, there's more room in there to dissipate heat. You can more easily get air through there. So we'll have to see. And one thing I did read is at least one Sony exec said that they, quote, put a great deal of effort into reducing fan noise in the PS5. So that would make sense if they add more room in there, and it'll be a lot more quiet, because I have the original PS4 Pro before it was apparently redesigned with better cooling, and it does get very loud, so not having a super loud console will definitely be welcome. Also, during the announcement, they showed off some other accessories that I don't believe we've seen before. For example, there's a new HD camera, so I'm assuming this could be used for like video chats and also possibly in VR devices. They also showed a charging station for DualSense controllers, and they also showed a Pulse 3D wireless headset. So as you know, the PlayStation 5 and I believe the Xbox Series X support 3D audio, so this will now be supported in the headset too. I don't know if it'll work with every headset or if you need to use this 3D wireless headset or whatever, but that's a thing now. And also they showed off a media remote, which could hint that they're going to be adding more media playback features, like more focused on streaming, not focused on it, but adding more features having to do with that. Of course, this was just basically a first look at everything, so I'm sure that we're going to be getting more details about this as the final release date comes closer, which is going to be holiday of this year, holiday season. And no, we do not know the price yet of either the PS5 or the Xbox Series X, and it's probably going to be more expensive than people are assuming compared to like the last generation, which makes sense. There's inflation, and also I wouldn't be surprised if it was going to be like even more expensive than people were assuming, maybe even like $700 or something. I mean, if you think about it, you get a phone that's like $1,000. People don't blink at spending $1,000 on a phone, and some people even upgrade every single year. Whereas, you know, you buy a console, you have that for like 10 years. I think it would make sense to be able to charge that much, although the only thing is, if people are accustomed to not paying $700 for a game console, they're used to just paying up to $500, then, you know, that's the psychological thing in there. Even though I think you'd get more use over the lifespan of a console than you might out of a phone. People still have an idea of how much a game console should cost, and then they kind of compare it to that. Now, as for all the games that were announced, I would definitely recommend just watching the reveal video. It was like an hour and 15 minutes or so, and you can just skip through and see which ones you like. I noticed a few that I was particularly interested in, so I'll go through those, not all of them. First of all, there's a new Demon's Souls remake coming out. I'm super excited about this. I'm a big fan of the Dark Souls series and Bloodborne and Sekiro, all from Software. The only one I had not played is Demon's Souls, which is only on the PS3, so I am super excited to finally be able to play that, and it's going to be a remake, and it's being developed by Bluepoint Games, so it's not being developed by From Software, the original developer, but Bluepoint is the same developer that did the Shadow of Colossus and other pretty faithful remakes, so I definitely think that they're going to do a good job. And also apparently it's being worked on by Japan Studios, which also helped with Bloodborne, so they do have some experience with that. So yeah, definitely excited about this. And also From Software's upcoming game Elden Ring. They didn't talk about that on this announcement, but that's just a side thing. Another one I'm super excited about is Horizon Forbidden West, so the sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn was one of my favorite stories in a video game, basically of all time. It's such a good story, so I'm definitely super excited to play that one. There was also some other new IP games that seemed interesting enough. I don't know how good they're going to be, but they looked interesting at least. One is Ghostwire Tokyo. It looks almost like some kind of supernatural horror game, almost like a Silent Hill type thing reminds me of, where there's like monsters and apparently only you can see them and they're there and you fight them off or whatever. It seems pretty cool. Another notable one is Resident Evil Village. I have not really played many of the Resident Evil games, but this one just caught my eye because it looks super realistic. So they're definitely going to be trying to take advantage, I assume, of the PS5 hardware. It just looks pretty photorealistic. Another one like that is Hitman 3. That one also looks super realistic. So definitely a fan of these games looking almost like a movie, basically, in some of the shots. One game that I thought looked really bizarre, but also very fascinating, and I'm definitely interested to see what this is going to be like, is called Pragmata. It almost looked like Death Stranding in space came across as the vibe, where there's this guy in a spacesuit on Earth, and it's like everything's deserted or whatever, and he does this scan, and it shows these outlines of these people that are like almost like ghosts, and there's this girl there who has like biometric eye implants or something. I don't know, it looked really weird, but also very interesting. I want to see what this one's even all about. And then finally, one that looked very interesting is called Stray, where basically it looks like you play as a cat, and it's in this weird alternate universe where it's all robots living in a city instead of people, and you're this cat that looks like it's wearing a jetpack or something. I don't know what the heck this is about, but it looks pretty interesting. I want to see what this is even going to be like, so I'll play that probably. And really that's it for the games that I thought was most interesting. I mean, I'm not going to go through every single one, and obviously we don't know how the PS5 is going to compare to the Xbox Series X. I think they're both going to have advantages, and I think for exclusives that are developed on either one, they're both going to perform extremely well. We did see with the Unreal Engine 5 tech demo on the PS5, it looked like it had incredible performance, especially being able to take advantage of the SSD and with the ray tracing. I just think both consoles are going to be really awesome. So I'm not going to get into the individual features or comparisons. I did make a video somewhat recently talking about the feature comparisons between the older generation and the newer generation features that we know of. I'll put that link right here. It's not like this console is better than this one. It's just talking about new features within each console. So definitely check that out and let me know what you think down in the comments. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.